Good morning. So today is a National Day of Prayer, which I think is a little bit ironic when somebody prays anyway. It seems like, hey, if you don't pray, pray today. Well, no, we always pray. But what are we praying for in particular, I think maybe gives more meaning to this day. And in particular, praying for our leaders. I think we're too quick to condemn, criticize, critique our leaders as if we know everything that they know that goes into their decision making. Whether or not we should be doing what we're doing nationally or as an archdiocese, I don't know because I'm not privy to all the information that they have. And so I think it's the Monday morning quarterback or the backseat driver. I know better from my vantage point. But this is one thing that we have to be doing. We have to be praying for our leaders, especially now. I don't know what the right thing is. They probably have maybe a little bit better of idea, but they're probably saying, oh, "Okay, well, let's try this," and that's a really difficult place to be. However, from our perspective, there can be a certain peace that we can just resign ourselves to. There is this deference that we give to our leaders and this respect that we give to them, and a certain trust that we have to give to them. And that's not human naivete either. The scriptures are full of this. This is part of our tradition, not just to be obedient to our ecclesial leaders, our bishops and our popes and our pastors, but to be obedient to our civil leaders. This has always been part of the tradition. In fact, Romans 13 talks about this. If you want to go to Romans 13 and meditate on that a little bit today, it says, "Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and those who do so will bring judgment on themselves. For rulers hold no terror for those who do right, but for those who do wrong. Do you want to be free from fear of the one in authority? Then do what is right, and you will be commended. For the one in authority is God's servant for your good. But if you do wrong, be afraid, for rulers do not bear the sword for no reason. They are God's servants, agents of wrath to bring punishment on the wrongdoers. Therefore, it is necessary to submit to the authorities, not only because of possible punishment, but also as a matter of conscience. This is also why you pay taxes, for the authorities are God's servants, who give their full time to governing. Give to everyone what you owe them. If you owe taxes, pay taxes. If revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. If honor, then honor." And of course, St. Paul is writing these words to the Romans during a time of persecution. This isn't necessarily like a happy time. He's saying, be obedient to these leaders, even though there's a persecution coming. St. Peter, a similar timeline, of course, will similarly say, "Dear friends, I urge you as foreigners and exiles to abstain from every sinful desire which wage war against your soul. Live such good lives among the pagans that though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day he visits us. Submit yourselves for the Lord's sake to every human authority, whether to the emperor as the supreme authority or to governors who are sent by him to punish those who do wrong and to commend those who do right. For it is God's will that by doing good you should silence the ignorance talk of foolish people. Live as free people, but do not use your freedom as a cover-up for evil. Live as God's slaves. Show proper respect to everyone. Love the family of believers. Fear God. Honor the emperor." See pretty stark words from both Peter and Paul on the respect, obedience, and deference given to even our civil authorities. Someone might ask, well, what if they take over and oppress us and there's a one world government? Well, then in the Lord's wisdom, he foresaw this, and in his providence, he allowed it, and it will be for our good. Even punishment is good. And oftentimes we see the Lord, and that's what St. Paul and St. Peter said, sometimes he uses this for punishment. If we don't receive the punishment, we don't grow from it, then it's our loss. So I think today is a good day just to reorient ourselves in our understanding of civil authority, of obedience, and to pray for our leaders. This is something that we can do and we should always do. Are they making the right decision or not? I don't know. But I'm praying that they will be. And I hope you'll join me in that prayer. God bless.